All right, so we are going to review for a quiz. The quiz is going to be on Tuesday. Monday we don't have school. Everybody remember that? All right, good. I have school on Monday. Ugh. But you guys don't. It's parent-teacher. Yeah. That's why they have the parent-teacher on Columbus Day, so that you guys could have off, right? But I don't have off. That's okay. He went to the bathroom or something. Or I went to the office to go to his car to get something. Yeah. All right, what I'm going to do, I took the quiz, or the exact problems from this homework. All right? I'm not going to show you exactly which ones they are, but I'll show you the types that they are. All right? You know the stuff we just finished about the congruent triangles and similar triangles? I decided not to put that on the quiz. All right? So it's only the stuff you see right in front of you right here. Yep. And it's not even the second page with the shaded in stuff, right? Because we didn't even go over that. Well, we might hit some of that today, but it's not going to be on the quiz though. All right? So it's only going to be what you see right here. So I'll tell you right now. So these problems right here, from 11 to 16, there's going to be 2 of those. From 17 to 24, there's going to be 2 of those. How much should I give you? You're going to have one area of a rectangle, so you're going to have one of those. You're going to have one area of a triangle. You're going to have one circumference and one area. See how they ask it twice? Area and circumference. I make them 2 separate problems. So I give you one is area and one is circumference. Okay? So that's actually 2. Everybody got that? How many is that? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. 2 more. I do a sphere. I do volume. I don't even give you surface area. Let me see. I do not. So I just give you volume. Okay. So it's either one of these. All right. I mean, there's only 2 to pick from. So it's one of those. Volume of a sphere, and then volume of a right circular cylinder. So it's either one of these. Okay. So one of those. That's 10, right? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. That's your quiz right there. All right. Let's go through some of these then. What about this one right here? I'm not going to tell you which one's on the quiz. I'll let you pick, all right, and we'll do one of those. 16, this one right here. So 14 and 48. All right, let me scooch this out of the way. So A is 14 and B is 48, correct? Now, what do they ask you? Let's go back to it. They say, the lengths of the legs of a right triangle are given, find the hypotenuse. All right, so they tell you A, they tell you B, and they ask to find what? Hypotenuse. Yeah, which is C. So what formula are we using here? It's a right triangle. These are the legs of the right triangle, and they're asking for the hypotenuse. So what's the formula? What's the name of it, first of all? For what? To find this. Pythagorean theorem. Let's write that down. That's a word you should know. 2 words. Pythagorean theorem. Comes from a guy named Pythagoras. Lived a long time ago. All right? He didn't actually come up with this formula. He actually was the first one to give a good proof of the formula. They actually knew this formula long before Pythagoras arrived on the scene. All right? Like hundreds of years, I think. I don't know. I looked it up. I don't have it all memorized, but anyway, it's named after him because he gave a good proof for it. All we got to do is know how to use it. What does Pythagorean theorem say? A squared plus b squared equals c squared. Good. It's as simple as just plugging this into here. It's really pretty basic. So what are we going to plug in for the A? 14. So it's 14 what? Squared. Plus what? 48 what? Squared. Equals C squared. Now, I have no idea what this is. I think I do know 14 squared, but yeah. But I'm going to put it in anyway. So 14 squared, yep, it's 196. I definitely do not know what 48 squared is. So 48 squared, 2304. 2304. But with a calculator, are the big numbers a problem? No, not if you have a calculator. All right, and that equals what? C squared. Everybody with me? I just put that in there and squared it, multiplied by itself, put it in here, squared it, multiplied by itself. I got square button on my calculator. Do you know where the square button on your calculator is? All right, find it, know it. All right, makes things a lot easier. Or you can just multiply it by itself, go 48 times 48. Or if you don't bring a calculator, here I'll tell you this. You can only use your own calculator. Have we mentioned that before? I think we did. I know in some of my classes I did. All right, so there's no sharing of calculators. All right, so bring a calculator, you can use it. Do not use your calculator on your phone, okay? You can't use that. All right, so use your own calculator, bring it in, but you cannot say, oh, Timmy, let me use your calculator, I forgot mine. Nope, it's not gonna work. Everybody understand that? So look, how would you do this? How would you do 48 squared if you didn't have a calculator? You'd have to do this, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you hate doing that? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be horrible, but it's much better to have a calculator to go from here to here. You could do that. And then to add those together, that wouldn't be super hard, all right? But I'm going to do it anyway. Plus 196, and that's 2,500. 2,500. Now, they rig this so it comes out nice and easy. You could almost do this in your head. Like let's just do this in our head, and then we'll put it in the calculator. 2,500. Isn't that the same as 25 times what? 100? Isn't that 2,500? Okay. So let's break them down. What's that? That's the square root of 25. What's that? Square root of 100. What's the square root of 25? It's 5. Times, right, because they're being multiplied, times what? Square root of 100 is 10. So what is that? It's 50. So C is equal to what? 50. You could always put it in your calculator, all right? And feel free. Put 2,500. I got a square root button right there. Boom. Hit it. It's 50. Simple as that. But I'm just showing you that they make this kind of nice for you so that it does come out nice and even. We good? The ones on the quiz, that one is not on the quiz. They're going to be easier numbers than that. All right, so if you can do that one, you could do any of those right here. I think these all come out to nice even numbers, don't they? Yeah, they do. I'm looking at them. Do you remember in geometry talking about Pythagorean triples? You don't remember that at all? Taylor, do you remember it? A little. I mean, you recognize the phrase. That's all I ask. These actually all come out to nice even numbers. For instance, like a 3, 4, 5 is a Pythagorean triple because 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 5 squared. Do you agree with that? 9 plus 16 is what? 25. 5 squared is 25. See how it comes out to a nice number like that? But not every one comes out to a Pythagorean triple. Now you got to realize we're in the review chapter, right? They're not teaching it to you from scratch. So they're giving you super easy versions of the problems, just so that you know, all right? So it could get way more complicated. You could get the square root of some crazy number, then you got to simplify it and all that. They're making this kind of easy for you, all right? Just so you, not to make you feel bad or anything if you don't know how to do them, but they are making them a little bit easy for you. All right, we good with that? 11 to 16? I don't have to do another one of those. We've already done one. That's good. What about this one? This one's a little different. It says in these problems, it says the lengths of the sides of the triangle are given. So these are 3 sides of a triangle, all right? Determine which ones are right triangles. and then it says identify the hypotenuse. I don't believe I tell you to identify the hypotenuse, okay? I just want to know, is it a right triangle or is it not a right triangle? Now, you can't just guess. It's not a 50-50. You can't just say, I don't know, yes. And then you happen to get it right. I'm not going to give you credit for it if all you do is put, yes, it is a right triangle. I need to have you show why. And I actually, in the quiz, I actually write show why, right? Because I don't want you just to write down, say, I don't know. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Whatever. Okay? So let's pick one of these. Pick one. I'm not going to tell you which one's on the quiz. I'll let you pick it. What's that? 23's on the quiz? Is that what you said? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not.
If it was on the quiz, could we just put
No.
not a right triangle?
No.
Because we know the 3, 4, 5?
No. You got to show me. That's not 3, 4, 5.
That's what I'm saying.
That's 3, 4, 5. So you know that is. No, I want to see it. Look. I did all that work, right? So you do all that work. Right? So if you get the left side equal in the right side, then it's a right triangle. Okay? I got to see it. Make sense? All right, what were my numbers on the one you picked? 6, 4, 3. But I'm going to put it in numerical order. 6, 4, 3, that'd be what? 3, 4, 6. Right? I'm going to put commas. 3, 4, and 6. So which one's my A and B and which one's my C? 6 is the C. That's the thing. It doesn't matter if the 3 is the A or the B, or the 4 is the A or the B. It's the 6 has to be the C, because it's the longest side of the triangle. Now, I don't know if it's a right triangle or not. So how do I show if it's a right triangle or not? I go A squared plus B squared equals C squared, right? All right, so A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And then I just plug those in. If I want to call that A, call that B, and call that C. Notice, in the book, they wrote 6, 4, 3, didn't they? So it doesn't mean the first one is always the A. The A and B are the two smaller ones. The C is always the biggest one. All right, so you got to make sure that you understand that. All right, so I'm going to go 3 squared plus 4 squared and see if it's equal to 6 squared. And you should know right off the top of your head that it's not, but I want you to show why. And I say it, like I said, I say it right on the quiz. Show why. So just because you know it off the top of your head, you can't just put yes it is or no it's not. I got to see why. All right, this is 9. That's 16. I'm going to put a question mark here. I'll put it equals in a question mark because I don't know just yet, do I? All right, equals what? 36? What's that? 25. Does 25 equal 36? No, it doesn't. It doesn't equal, okay? So this is what? Not a right, no, triangle. Not a right triangle. If they were equal to each other, yes, it would be a right triangle. Make sense? Yeah, easy. All right. What about the area stuff? Which one you want to do? Well, let's go through the formulas. Is that all right? Good idea. So area of a rectangle and triangle. I'll tell you what, I can erase this stuff now. Keep going, keep going. There we go. All right, so yeah, let's just write down the formulas. So the area of a rectangle. What's the area of a rectangle? Length times width, because I'm not giving these to you. What's the area of a triangle? Base times height divided by 2. Or you could write 1/2 the base times the height. It's the same thing, right? Taking half of something, dividing it by 2, isn't that the same thing? Yeah. What were the other ones I asked? Circumference of a circle. Circumference, I'll just put C. Circumference of a circle. Do you remember what that is? We wrote it down yesterday. Did you write it down? Pi r? Is it? You were asking me or telling me? Okay. It is 2 pi r. Or, what's another way you could do this? 2 pi r, or pi times what? What's twice the radius? It's the diameter, right? Okay, either way. Now, if I give you the diameter, use this one. If I give you the radius, use this one, right? Okay. What about the area of a circle? Got it. Pi r squared. All right. What's another one I ask? The volume of a sphere. Volume, I'll put S. Volume of a sphere. Is it 3/4? It's 4/3, right. It's 4/3. This is the weirdest one. Okay, this is the hardest. Well, it's not the hardest one, but it's the weirdest one. It's the one you don't usually hear very often. 4/3. Pi. What cubed? The pi's cubed? R cubed. You got it. That's it. You got to memorize it. It's not that hard. It's not that long, right? Pi r cubed, 4/3. And then the volume of a right circular cone. Cylinder, sorry. The volume of a, that's RCC, right circular cylinder. Remember what that is? Pi r squared, because it's a circle at the bottom, right? Remember the cylinder? It's a circle at the bottom. So you just find the area of the circle at the bottom and then multiply it by what? Its height. Yeah, that's all you got to do. So this is the weirdest one, but this one shouldn't be that hard, because think of a cylinder. Or you can think of a cylinder, right? Like a Coke can or something like that, right? The bottom of it is a circle. You know the area of the circle, pi r squared. The volume is just the area of that circle multiplied by how tall it goes, right? What's it mean by how tall it is? That's the height, okay? Those are all the equations right there, all the formulas you need to know for the quiz, all right? There might have been some other ones that we threw around. I don't know if there was there? I think that was it. All right, so that's all we're doing. So now, let's use that to do some of these. Area of a rectangle. Can you do this? You can do both these in your head, can't you? So let's do 25. Let's do both. What's the area of that rectangle? 8 inches squared. Area is always squared, okay? What's always cubed? Volume is always cubed. Area is always squared. Circumference is just a perimeter. It's just the distance around it, right? So there's no squared. It would just be in inches or feet or centimeter, whatever they give you, okay? Does that make sense? Okay. So make sure you keep that in mind. So let's do 25. What is that? 8 inches squared. What's number 26? 36 centimeters squared. Piece of cake, right? Easy. What about this? Area of a triangle. What's the area of a triangle? Base times height, and then take half of it, right? So let's do 27. The base is 2, the height is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Then you got to divide it by 2, so it's 4 inches squared. Super easy. 28. Again, area of a triangle. Height, base, 9 times 4 is 36, divided by 2 is 18. So it's 18 centimeters squared. Make sense? Yeah, so those, man, don't get those wrong, okay? Don't get them wrong. You should be able to get those pretty quick and easy. What about this? Circumference. And it says the radius is 5 meters. Well, let's do the circumference. So we're doing this one right here. And it says the radius is 5, what is it, meters? Okay. So what do we do? That's the radius. Am I going to use this one? No, use this one. So it's going to be what? Circumference is equal to 2 times pi times r, which is 5. And it's in meters, so it's meters what? It's not meters squared. I almost put squared. It's just plain old meters. Just plain old meters. Let's simplify this though. 2 times 5 is 10 pi, right? And then, so that's 10 times 3.14, and that is 31.4. I can do that in my head, right? Multiply by 10? Yeah. And it's in meters. So that would be the circumference. Make sense? That one was easy because we multiplied by 10. If it's another number, throw it into a calculator. All right, just give me, well, this one only came out to 1 decimal place. Sometimes they might come out to 2. But just give me the 1 or 2 decimal places. Don't just put 31 though, all right? That's not accurate enough.
You said you want us to use 3.1 instead of...
Yeah, don't use the pi button. The pi button will give you like 8 different decimals. Don't want that. Just use, watch, pi, just use 3.14. That way we're all on the same page, we're all getting the same answers, okay? Make sense? All right, yeah, that was easy. What else? Area, right? Let's do the same problem. The radius 5. Let's do the area of it. So the area of a circle is pi r squared. What's that? Okay. So we'll do the same circle. So the circumference, the distance, if you walked around it, it would be 31.4 meters to walk around it. What do we find in here? How many squares can fit inside that circle, right? That's area. Remember talking about that? Yeah. So what is it? Pi times r, which is 5, and squared. And so 5 squared is 25. 25 times pi, which is 3.14. Throw that in the calculator, and whatever you get. And everybody should be able to get the same exact answer because we're using 3.14. 78.5, is that what you said? Yep. Now, this was in meters, so my answer is meters what? Squared, because it's area. Area is always squared, volume's always cubed, and circumference or perimeter is always, well, it's just whatever the units are, okay? Whatever the units are, okay? We good? All right. Tell you what, let me get rid of all of this. So what's after that? Volume. Only 2 more, right? So the volume of a sphere. Well, we know it right here. It's the volume of a sphere. Oops, forgot to look to see what the numbers were. That has a radius. Let's just do the first one. The radius is 4 centimeters. All right, so we got a sphere. You know what a sphere is, right? It's a ball. So from the center of the ball to the outside of the ball is 4 centimeters. And I want to find the volume of that sphere, of that ball, right? How many cubes can you fit inside that ball? That's what you're finding. All right, so what do? 4 thirds pi, which is 3.14, times the radius. What's the radius in this situation? It's 4, and what are we doing to that? We're cubing it. So this is big time calculator work, all right? Here's how I would do this. You could write it like this. I'll put an or. This might be a little easier to put into your calculator. Watch. And just divide everything by 3. Isn't that the same thing? Because there's your 4 over 3, yeah? So it might be easier to put that in your calculator. Go ahead and do that. You got your calculator out? Put that in there. The hardest part of doing this problem is just sticking the stuff in the calculator. 4 cubed times 3.14 times 4 equals, then I divide that by 3. Let's just take it to 1 decimal place, okay? So this is approximately, anybody get an answer yet? You got it. 267.9. Right, this is in centimeters, and it's volume, so it's centimeters cubed. Why did I put a little squiggly equal sign? Was I nervous? Was I shaking when I wrote it equals? No, it's squiggle means approximately. Why is it approximately? Because of this. That's pi, but that's approximately pi, right? It's not the whole entire pi. There is no whole entire pi, because the numbers keep on going forever and ever and never stop, okay? So that's why I put a little squiggle there. Make sense? Plus I rounded it as well. No, just keep it at least 1 decimal place. It keeps on going, right? And then eventually, well, it won't repeat. It kind of looks like on the calculator it repeats, but I don't think it, well, If you just use 3.14, it will start repeating. But that's good enough. 1 decimal place is good. We good with that? Yeah, that was easy. The next one's even easier. So make sure you know how to put that in your calculator. Make sure you've tried it. If you don't have a calculator here, put it in your notes. Try it at home. Make sure you know how to use your calculator. That's half the battle with this kind of stuff. Right? Now, write circular cylinder. And let's just do the first one. 9. The radius is 9 and the height is 8. So the radius is 9 and the height is 8. All right, so we're finding the volume of a right circular cylinder. It's kind of like a Coke can or something like that, okay? Like soda or something like that. Here it is. Remember, the volume is just a circle. Whoops. It's just a circle, and then it goes up, right? You agree with that? So you got one circle, and if its height is 1, that would just be the same thing as the area. But then if you got a second one, a third one, a fourth one, a fifth one, what are you doing? You're just multiplying them all together, aren't you? All those circles. All right, so times h. So it's the area of the circle times how high up it goes. So that's an easy one to memorize. That one's a tougher one, but this one shouldn't be that hard to figure out. So let's put some numbers in. 3.14. Put this in your calculator. Let's see if we get the same answers. Okay, the radius is 9, but what do we have to do to that 9? We have to square it, and then we multiply it by the height, and the height is 8. So this is all calculator work. So stick it in there, see what you get. 3.14 times 9 squared times 8. All right, I got it. You tell me what you got. Yeah, well, the r is squared, but it's multiplied by an h, so you actually have, it's cubed, isn't it? Your units are cubed, right? Whatever the units were. What were the units? Inches. Should have written that down. 9 inches, 8 inches. Did you get a number? Tristan, what'd you get? Good. 2034.72. Whoops. 72. And it is in inches, so it's inches cubed. And there you go. Really easy if you know the formula. Okay, you got to know the formula. If you don't know the formula, not so easy. And I'm not giving you the formulas. I told you right from the beginning, didn't I? I was not going to give you the formulas. Here they are. This is the last time that I give you the formulas. Did you write them down in your notes? Hopefully you did. Okay, know those formulas because you're going to have a problem that you're going to have to do each of those formulas. Right? We've done every single one of those. All right. That's all I got. So, I'm taking a quiz on this, and it's R-3, and it's on when? Tuesday? After the quiz, guess what we're going to do? Nope. Oh, you covered your face. Why? Because we're going to have a test. All right, so we're going to have a test. What's the test going to cover? And it'll probably be the end of next week. Well, what have we done so far? R1, R2, and R3. All right, so we need to throw a test. This is our first test. We should have, I like to have at least 2 tests, but I don't know, things have been going a little slow. Been missing for everything under the sun, it seems like. So that's how it works. All right, so be ready for that quiz, though, on Tuesday.